Cut me, I probably bleed Montana. See my name, never see me. A myth like Santa, never read the memorandum. Made my art for the streets and the people. Rock the mask like Doom or the Phantom. My letter in the ode, the ancestors and their hieroglyphs.
What up? Nate KnewBalance Whitsell here with SD State of Mind and HipHopWEDS. We are transitioning our HipHopWEDS interviews from in-print interviews on IG to video interviews. And of course, you know I had to have my brother Kahlee on.
Yes, sir.
You know, I mean, it just has to be. So we are making this transition. I can't wait for all the artists that you've fallen in love with through the previous interviews to be interviewed in video, and then to take on new artists and just to continue growing with the city that is obviously growing. So with no further ado, let's get right into it. What up, Kahlee? Welcome, man.
What's up?
So good to have you.
Good to be a part of the first episode.
Well, I mean, come
Finally
on.
making it happen.
This is your baby, so you had to, I mean, kind of has to be that way. But anyways, let's get into this. So I'm going to go back to my interview roots. I always love to start with this question because I love to get to know the artists I talk to, and I love for the listeners, the watchers, the readers to get to know the artist as a human. So who is Kahlee?
Man, the easy way to say it is father, husband, hip hop head. You know what I mean?
Oh.
Shit talker. I like to laugh and talk shit out of fun. You know, there's a clear difference between me trying to make you feel bad, and you might not know that until I actually try to make you feel bad. Then you'll realize what the big difference is. But anyways, those things, you know, and I like to kick bars. You know what I mean? And man, there's, like I said, there's so many different ways I could go with that, but I think that's the best way. Just put it out there and leave a little in for interpretation.
Totally. All right, dope. So the hip hop headpiece, right? You created a brand called HipHopWEDS. It created a sub community in San Diego's hip hop community, right? That is thriving, is flourishing. You get hit with COVID-19, quarantine, and so this live venue kind of entity you built has to be rethought. And so we go to these interviews, right? These in writing interviews that we were doing on IG, and now we're able to be back in person, and venues are back opening up. So how you feeling right now?
Man, I'm super pumped. Show's been going for a minute.
Yeah.
You know, the virtual shows was not for me. Even just watching the shows, it was cool, and I'm happy that I was able to be a part of a couple of them.
Yeah.
As much as I like to perform, I performed in front of 5 people a million times, so performing in front of 10, 15 people in this virtual show situation is dope, especially when most of them, if not all of them, are my friends.
Yeah.
So I get to kick it and stuff. But from a hip hop fan perspective, and from someone who has the shows with HipHopWEDS, it just wasn't my thing. So many people hitting us up asking yo, we gonna do virtual shows, and I was just like, you know what? Fortunately, Rick was slapping hands. He was keeping the shows popping. A couple other people did some virtual shows, and I felt like it was not necessary for us to do it. I was able to focus on other things, and then when you and I got started, man, you keeping it moving with these interviews, HipHopWEDS interviews every Wednesday. We got to keep the Wednesday thing going. We got to keep shining light on San Diego hip hop. And, it's nowhere near the same, but now as things open back up, I'm not out here every day, every show, but dip my toe in the pool a little bit, and the water feels great, and I can't wait to dive in.
I know, right?
Straight up.
Yep. Now, one of the benefits, though, of you not being able to be out every Wednesday, and all the coordination, I imagine, that it goes into that.
It's a little tough.
Yeah, right? And so
it's a lot of work.
It sounds like you were able to pick up your pen, though, right? Because you're releasing music like crazy. I don't know if you have an archive or what, but tell us about that. What happened? Why did you start releasing music? How did you get that inspiration? And just tell us about
It's
music.
definitely a lot of different things. Obviously having time to do things, because booking the shows, and it's not just booking shows, because just because I explain how hard it might be to put a weekly event together, booking artists and throwing shows and creating flyers and shit, that's a lot of work that people tend to have teams doing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It ain't the craziest shit in the world for one person to be doing it, but what I'm trying to get across is just because your homeboy does that don't mean shit, because their flyers look like trash sometimes, and I'm happy that ours usually look decent.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Pretty good, actually. The shows got the same artists all the fucking time, 75 of them usually. You know what I'm saying?
Totally.
And it's just not the same. So basically, I'm of the ilk where it's like if I can't do it right, I'd rather just not do that at all. Which goes back to the reason why I didn't want to do the streaming shows, because like it just, I want to bring a dope vibe. Like HipHopWEDS always been about the vibe, and I can't bring that vibe through a live streaming event, so I decided not to do it. Now that the shows are, okay, I'm straying from your question.
It's all good.
Back to me, yeah. So not having to do all that work, not having to put all the work in to make sure that every single show goes with the next show or the next series of shows, and not getting the same artists on the same, even booking the same artists more than like twice in a year span and shit like that. We're doing 50 shows a year, and focusing on different artists every show, so, and keeping it coordinated so that the artists go together well, so that if you came to see artist A, you might also be feeling the other artists on the bill,
curation.
Yeah, man, it's all about the curation, and that is the thing that's not being done. So all those things and other shit, plus I got a family, I got a job, other things, it took me away from writing, big time. And along with having time to actually write, just being more comfortable with how things are going. Like for me, the COVID was tough, but at the same time, it allowed me, I don't know, freedom. Like freedom I guess I didn't have, or I didn't know that I had. I just like appreciated things in a different way, and that mixed with having time. But really that, man, I've just been able to just get down with the pen, man. Yeah,
and the mic, obviously.
Yeah, you know what I mean? But really, dude, just not having to worry about shit, and to be able to just write, like the freedom of not having like a clock over my head, over my shoulder. Like
you can write for 30 minutes, then you got to make dinner or whatever.
And now I got time, and I think being free with it, and having conversations with people through the songs, like the songs that I've been writing, sometimes like the type of conversations we might have after HipHopWEDS before we go home or some shit, like really conversational records. So I've been able to get out a lot of the shit that we've talked about, you and I talked about, me and whoever, I might have talked about it with you, you know what I mean, whatever, and putting it in a song and just getting that information out there, or like my philosophy on shit. So all those things, but yeah, man, having that time and having that freedom, it's really opened me up to just be writing like crazy, and releasing a lot.
That flow has been steady. So dope. Okay, so speaking of curation, you've curated an album that represents a broad stroke of San Diego's hip hop. You got this SD State of Mind compilation that's been kind of releasing every week, a song or two every week, and a really unique mix of artists where they don't all go together in the sense, like you were saying, how you'd curate a show. It's more of a showcase of everything the city has to offer, it feels like.
Yes.
Can you tell us a little bit about the compilation?
Man, well, first of all, a lot of times when you go to an event, especially when you go to that same residency or that same event, there's a crowd, you know what I'm saying? And you're going to get to know those people. If you're a part of a show, every single time you go to this show, you're going to see a certain type of people there or whatever. And, that's whatever. I don't even know how that happens sometimes. But a lot of times if you're in a certain area, it's going to be just certain people from that area. If you're in a certain type of music is being played, it's going to be the type of people that only make that music or listen to that music. Not only, but for the most part, the point I'm trying to get at is I was intentionally trying to book people for HipHopWEDS events from all over the city.
Yeah.
From down south to North County to the beach to like southeast, like the center, everywhere.
Yeah.
And to me, being able to put it together in a way where everything flows right, you're going to bring people from here, you're going to bring people, again, like, we got people just circulating with each other. And a lot of times, like, man, it just works. So what you'll see, in my opinion, when you come to like a HipHopWEDS event, or especially if you just start coming to HipHopWEDS, you're going to see people that go to only these shows, and besides that show, they come to HipHopWEDS. You're going to see people that be over here doing this and sound like this or whatever, but that version from all over the city, from all the way up even to like Orange County, you know what I'm saying? So, which I think is super dope. I like the fact that we have such a diverse crowd. That's what it comes down to, diverse culturally and diverse style-wise when it comes to hip-hop. And even the people that come to see all that shit just chill, because there's some neighborhood people too, just people from the area where the event's at.
Yeah,
but at the same
55-year-old woman from down the street.
And knows like, oh, what up, Nate? You know what I mean? Or whatever. What's up, Rude? Like, everybody knows everybody there and shit. But the thing that's dope about that is this SD State of Mind compilation is not just all San Diego artists, but it's HipHopWEDS alumni. So it's all people who performed at HipHopWEDS, and because of that, it's like a diverse example of not only what the city has, but of what HipHopWEDS is. So it's like our piece of the scene.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It's our scene, and at the same time, it's got a piece of everything in San Diego. So it's really dope. I'm pumped about that. So
that's all good. But everybody who's interested, like people are okay. They've seen the art. They've heard the snippets. They've gone to Spotify. Hopefully, they've purchased the music.
I mean, you can pay if you want. You know what I'm saying?
That's
if you like.
The best way to support artists is by buying, not streaming. But anyways,
and spread the word. That's actually free. So just do that.
Yep. Keep that going. But on top of all of that, if I want to buy something that holds something like from San Diego hip hop history, I want to carry something into the future. Like give my kids, when I give them my record collection, my tape collection, my CD collection, whatever. Are they going to be physicals?
You already obviously this guy knows the answer to most of these questions that he's asking.
This is for you though.
Yeah, we're
like this because we love you. You know what I mean? Like,
you know what I'm saying? But man, you already if you don't know, anytime you see what I do, it's going to be different from something else. You know what you see from anybody else, because I'm just trying to do something different. And you know, to take it further than that, man, I used to collect shit. I still collect shit. Comics, cards, action figures, shit. I collect stickers. When it comes to the physicals, I'm just trying to do cool shit. With the SD State of Mind record that I did with Ralph Quasar, we did candles. Some dope ass candles. The stickers are always, we always got stickers and shit. With this, of course, we're doing cassettes. I didn't even want to do CDs, but Ralph was like, we should do CDs just to have some CDs. I'm like, all right, so we did some CDs, but we got to do some cassettes.
Okay.
And we doing vinyl. We doing vinyl for sure, and it's not going to be no, $70 vinyl, and it's also not going to be no plain vinyl. So, like, we're going to definitely do it right, do something cool, something collectible, and it's not going to break the bank either, you know what I mean? So, we're going to have a diverse collection of physical product. And when it comes to SD State of Mind, I mean, this is a thing that is more than just music.
Yeah.
It's more than just hip-hop. When it comes to music, it's a lot of different things, but you're going to be able to buy, over time, like so many different shirt designs.
Yeah.
So much different physical product of music.
Yep.
Who knows what it's going to be. But, I mean, I know. I got a few ideas. But, yeah, records and cassettes, you know what I mean?
For this. For this project. Now, you mentioned, building that brand, that SD State of Mind brand. And just to take listeners and whatnot through, you started off with HipHopWEDS. It was a 1 night per month. And then it became 4 nights per month. And then that expanded into this SD State of Mind because you did that album with Ralph Quasar, and the name just made so much sense to be the parent company or the umbrella under which HipHopWEDS and Bars Weekly fit, right? What is your vision for? Because I know I've seen, I post on there too. I know, I've posted, women's lash stuff. I've posted obviously delicious food, activities you can do around San Diego. What is SD State of Mind? Why should people not only follow HipHopWEDS for hip hop, but why should they also follow SD State of Mind?
With HipHopWEDS, it was all about hip hop.
Okay.
And specifically the hip hop that I'm into, you know what I'm saying? But sometimes I would post shit that wasn't my cup of tea, but I could see the potential in it, or I'm like, a lot of people like this person's music, or I just met this cat and I dug him, and I do see his music is good, so I repost. It could be anything.
Okay.
But at the same time, that was just hip hop.
Yeah.
And as time went on, it's like, we post some shit. We post a little bit about a restaurant, especially if I go there personally. I'm eating, and this is I happen to have some friends that own restaurants, so I'm like, of course I want to support them. It's Raw, Poke Shop, or Common Theory, or The Cottage. You know what I mean? If I'm there, I'm gonna be like, I'm doing you a favor by showing you this bomb ass food right here. You need to go over here and eat it.
Yeah.
But as time goes on, it's like, man, we want to do more than just hip hop, right? And SD State of Mind, which comes from New York State of Mind, fucking Nas's New York State of Mind, and it just made me think man, I really want us to be able to showcase the city, period.
Okay.
So if you're coming to town and you're not from here, but maybe you want a business trip, or you just, whatever the case is, you come in, maybe you got family here and you're like, I'm going to San Diego. how do I know what's going? I'm a hip hop head, or maybe I like reggae, or I like rock, or maybe it's not music. Attractions of different sorts, or you want to go hiking and you want to know the right place to go, or it's Christmas. We did the Christmas lights. If you're here in Christmas, you could check out this list of places where you could go and see the
Christmas
lights and shit. Yes, all kinds of different things. And as time goes on, you know, we talked about having Ethos is you know, SD State of Mind resident, HipHopWEDS resident, and like he's a big fisherman and shit. He loves fishing.
Yep.
So it's like, okay, we're gonna have Ethos come on and do his maybe top 5, I don't know, fishing tips. Maybe places to fish, times of the year, whatever.
Yep.
You know, I'm not a fisherman, so you know, I don't really know shit like that. But the whole point is like having people come on and talk about the shit that they really love. And if you come to San Diego, you can not only do those things, but you're getting it from somebody that you might know, like a public figure, or it could just be like a dope writer. You know what I'm saying? Whatever it is, but we're able to showcase the city in all aspects, supporting fucking small businesses, supporting music, all different styles of music, just whatever we could do to give people, put the spotlight on San Diego, but through our eyes. You know what I mean? Because a lot of times you're looking through the eyes of somebody who you can't really relate to. And plus they're getting paid for it. Like, I'm not saying we're never gonna get paid. I've done, you know, I and we have both done sponsored posts before. You'll be able to tell what a sponsored post is, and it doesn't mean it's bad. We not taking money just from anybody to post something. Cause like if the shit is trash, we can't like align that with our brand. Like, yo, we have to be able to stand behind it. But at the same time, if you try to charge, if you want to pay me to post some shit that I feel like I would be posting anyways, I probably won't take the money. I'll probably just be like, yo, I appreciate it. Keep that, you know, money, and or pay me for something else. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, buy an album.
We're supposed to post this anyway, so thanks for bringing it to my attention. You know what I mean? But you know, the whole point is like we just trying to show the city from our view, and if you rock with us, or if you're like us, or if you fit into like our friend group type of thing, or anything even beyond that, then you're gonna have a good idea of what you can do in San Diego, where you could go, food that you can eat,
where you should
like
eat.
Man,
even if you're from here, right? You're gonna find. I found food places from you that I didn't know existed. So likewise,
we're teaching each other shit. Yeah,
totally. Dope. Okay, so. That brings me to a question more about you than the platform, but the platform, it's so communal, right? And so HipHopWEDS has always been about the community, and where do you get that communal energy? Like, where does that come from in you? Why do you give a shit about the other artists in the city? Like, why?
Okay, so there's a lot of different answers to that question. I'll dissect it crazy.
Okay. Yeah.
When I grew up, my house, first of all, both my parents owned a bar.
Okay.
These are not things that I thought about and was like, I'm gonna start doing shows.
Yeah, totally.
You know what I mean? I'm an artist. I've seen a lot of, any artist who really put in that work, you've really encountered some bullshit. You know what I mean? Like terrible promoters, or like a lot of these cats these days who don't promote shit. They call themselves promoters, but they just pay to play. They organize an event and they get people to actually promote the show for them by selling tickets. You know what I mean? Shit like that. So I seen all these things. I complain about things that suck throughout my career. And even though I thrown many shows before I started HipHopWEDS was the first residency, consistent event to where I'm like, I could craft this to be the way I think it should be. Yeah. So a lot of people bitch and complain, but when they get the opportunity to really show how shit's supposed to be, or to talk to the people to make the actual change, they don't actually do that shit. Okay. You know what I mean? This was my opportunity to be like, okay, I've been talking all these years about all these things I've been through, or it wasn't even proving it to me because I already know, but other people hear something or they complain about something. I'm like, what you complaining about? Like, you don't even know that this happens or this happens. You talk about paying dues, but you've not encountered these things yet. Totally. So anyways, with all that being said, that's how that started. I have these guidelines, these ways that I believe it can serve the artist well, it can serve the people that come well, it can serve the venue. Like every party involved should be able to benefit from every event that we have. That would be best case scenario, right? Win, 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 win. Like whoever's involved, everybody has a good time, meet new people, shit like that, right? So that's the number one, right? I have these personal opinions of like how MCing should be in hip hop.
Yep.
I'm like, yo, everybody could do whatever they want in all these other places. So maybe at this place, we kind of put some standards in place. So it's like, you don't have to be the best ever to perform, but if you suck and you bring 100 people, you're not going on at this certain time just because you can bring a lot of people. That's important. And maybe you won't go on first, but at the same time, you have to earn a certain spot. And being able to bring a lot of people is mad important, and kudos for that. But I can bring a lot of people if I tell all my family and friends to come, but none of them are hip-hop fans. Like, I want to make us money, I want to make the venue money, but I want to throw a good event. So if I bring a bunch of people that don't give a shit about hip-hop, but only a fan of me,
they're your fans.
Yo, I guess you could say I look good for a minute, but as soon as I'm done, they're out of here.
Yeah, especially if you leave early. Like, that's, I mean, that's a little tangent, but like, if that artist leaves early, that
shit happens all the time, and you should be able to. But this is the whole point. It's on me as the organizer and the curator to put together something good where it just works best for everybody involved. So that's a big thing. Now, with that being said, going back to the other thing, my parents, you know, they had a bar when I was young. We always had parties at my house. My house was the party place.
Totally.
My brother and sisters all had people at one point living with us, not just staying for like a week. I mean, living with us like over my whole life. Always had people at our house, all these things. So I feel like, and also all different cultures, colors, all that. You know what I mean? Which is the reason why I feel blessed for that. Because some people, they only have one culture in their life, or mainly one culture, and they're a lot more closed-minded. So I feel like that allowed me more freedom to do some of the things that I've been doing. And I also believe that I attract that too. So like, if this is what we think, right, this is what we're going to attract. If you're like a pessimistic, negative person, I believe that to an extent you're going to attract that to yourself, right? You'll be looking for that unconsciously, looking for the negative, right? So I feel like, with that being said, like I'm doing that too. I'm just like inviting that energy of like all these different cultures, all these different people, all these different styles, all these different age groups. Like, just, if you want to come and hang out, like, and you try this place out, you're probably going to have a good time, especially if you have any like liking for hip-hop music and shit. Just because you playing good quality
good
shit
stuff.
too. And like, even if the artists that come to perform are not like top-notch experience, we put them in a place where they can grow and get better. So it's not like you're going to a show, and I don't have a problem saying this, like at fucking I can't think of it, the observatory and shit, where it's like you got this great ass, you know, headliner, but, and this ain't the case every time, I'm sure, but how many aren't you tired of hearing people say, man, fuck going to that place, just the headliner goes on at 10, just go at 10. It's like 7 openers, and there's no, you know, filter to,
it's not being curated. Like,
not only are they good or bad or just started rapping yesterday or experienced or whatever, they could all be good and they got no business on that lineup, because look who's performing. You got this dude right here that sound like this, and this dude, there's so many different ways to look at it, right? So it's like, that's just another thing that kind of keeps people from supporting that scene, because if you just come for one artist, you're not necessarily supporting the
whole scene.
Yeah, you're just there for the artist. But also, you're just a fan, you don't partake in hip-hop, it's not your job to come and fucking support everybody. It's your job to go and do what the fuck you want to do. You want to see one person perform, grab a drink, and leave? That's for you. It's my job and the artist performing job to try to keep you there. It's my job to book book a lineup to where if you come and you bring 20 people and you leave right after your set, it's not the coolest thing for you to just leave. But if you got work, take your ass home. Go to work, homeboy. I appreciate you coming doing your thing. You know what I'm saying? It ain't my job to come and perform. This is for the promoters who are under the ridiculous impression it's my job to come and perform and stay for the whole show just because you need more people to come.
In the venue.
I'm happy with everybody who stays. But it's not your job to stay the whole show so I can have one more person. You know what I mean? It's my job to give you experience,
make it so good
to where you
that people want to stay.
So if you're under the impression that an artist is whack because he leaves, I once heard somebody say, if you got to work the next day and you can't stay, then maybe you shouldn't have booked that show. And that's the most ridiculous bullshit I ever heard in my whole entire fucking life. Like, it made me mad to hear it. I don't remember who the fuck said it or where it was. But the whole point is, like, that's just another thing that I bear on my shoulders, which I believe everybody puts the events together should. So all that together, like, I feel like all these things together just create what it turned out being. And the bottom line is, it got to be good vibes. Everybody in there got to be there having, you know, or at least in a good mood. You know what I'm saying? We got to be respectful. I come from a professional background, fools that anybody who I've booked, they know that I might be a little more professional and strict than other people who don't give no fucks.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You're getting the rundown on how the show's gonna be. You know what I'm saying? You're getting your set time. You're not running 75 minutes over your set. You're not coming 10 minutes late, walking in like you somebody special when you're not. And then you're gonna leave. You're gonna go like 10 minutes over your set, and you got 2 people in front of you. You know what I mean? Nah. You coming in. You know the time. You had an opportunity to like change or
work it out, or
whatever the situation is. The whole point is because we do that. That's another reason why things run as tight as possible, so that you're not waiting there to see one person who's supposed to go on at 11, but because everybody else was late or whatever, he went on a like run. Which is again the promoter or the organizer's fault, because it's on me to make sure the shit runs like that. Yeah, so these are all just things that, in my opinion, if I'm even still answering the same question
you're in the ballpark. You're like in the vicinity.
These are all things that keep the show, you know, I think that made HipHopWEDS some of the things that made HipHopWEDS successful and become what it was. Of course, having staff, even when you were there, and like other people involved, other residents, like every piece is important that keeps it going, even the people that come. You know what I mean? Yeah, so. Okay,
speaking of important pieces and the community, I have 2 pieces that I want to ask from you.
Okay, you should probably do one at a time.
First of all, First of all, for artists.
All
right? Because that's... it's at least 50% of who's tuned in to HipHopWEDS is artists who support other artists, support themselves, and want to build the community. So what would you say for them as far as like, you know, a lot of artists feel like they've been putting in work and but they're not seeing the results that they want to. They might feel like they're being kept out. There's gatekeepers, and right there we see on Facebook and all these places complaints and frustrations and very real things too for some artists who do put in the work and aren't seeing the results. What's your advice to artists who are, because what our job, you know, at HipHopWEDS is to find the artists who have high potential, right, and they're starting their journey, and then to put them in front of people.
That's great. You get to help contribute to somebody starting.
Yeah. And so what is your advice as kind of the creator of HipHopWEDS to those artists?
I think first let me give you some advice as far as like an artist who's fucking done all the shit that you just said, and for longer than a lot of the other artists that are probably watching this or possibly watching this, right? Like, there's been many times, like, I'll bitch and complain to you because you my boy, right? But the shit I say to you is more like and especially now in general, when I complain, it's really like a fucking a conversation where we got fucking we're like discussing and brainstorming how we can fix this shit. You know what I mean? And like, yeah, I'm complaining and venting, but at the same time, like, I'm not actually under the impression that anybody owes me shit because I feel like I've been here for X amount of time. Like, I've been doing this for a long ass time, and that still means about this much. You know what I'm saying?
Totally.
So if you've done it for half this time, then it means maybe this much. I don't know. I don't know how the fractions work. But my whole point is, like, stop bitching. Or you could bitch. Please be entertaining if you want me to listen to you, bitch. But besides that, like, what are you doing besides bitching? I used to work with this dude who all he did was complain. He was just a pessimistic, just crybaby. But he wants to complain about this, and this, but when the person comes in that is creating all these problems, this motherfucker quiet as hell. I'm like, yo, Joe, didn't you have something to tell Juan? This motherfucker, oh no, I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, okay, okay. Then stop crying to me when this motherfucker leaves, because you ain't really here to complain or to fix anything. You just complaining. So with that being said, gatekeepers, they exist. I'm not saying that you shouldn't like build with people or network with people solely for the fact that, you know, I was thinking about somebody who's complaining that they didn't get booked because they weren't my friend. And I was thinking to myself, you ever hear how they say deals are made on the golf course?
Okay,
Have you ever heard a rapper say that?
No.
Usually that's like millionaires and shit.
Totally.
Or at least they're referring to like big companies, executives. It's not literally just the golf course. It's just the whole fact is you building with somebody, you out drinking with somebody, you doing all these things. Now sometimes there's less than the talent or you really qualify for it, but the whole point is you're building with somebody and you're doing that extra, right? So there's that. But at the same time, it's like, let's say those things ain't even an option. While you're bitching and complaining, go ahead and like do something. You know what I'm saying? So with me, I was like, okay, so there's no seat at the table for me. I didn't like it, but I didn't look at it like somebody was personally trying to hold me down. But even besides that, I was like, all right, well, I think I can do this shit better anyway. Okay. So basically, the way I look at it is, if I can't sit at your table, I'm gonna do that shit myself. I'm gonna build my own table.
Totally.
And then as time goes on, people bring tools. They say, oh, what you building the table? Shit, cause that table, that should be fucking up. You can't just fold a piece of paper, put it under to make it level. You know what I mean? So let's build a new table. Yep. I don't got wood, but I got a hammer and nails. You need a hammer and nails? Yeah, bring the hammer and nails. We build the wood. People start coming. The table's there now. They need chairs, so they start building chairs, and they bring the material. Here's a cushion, so the chairs are more comfortable. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Yo, fellas, appreciate the love. We got the table, our booth is set, our chairs are here. Yo, we got silverware and plates. Oh shit, okay, come bring the plates. Some people want to come and taste what we eating, but they ain't trying to pay, they don't got nothing to do with it. Okay, cool. Well, depending on the situation, you may be able to try a sampler.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But ultimately, my point is, if you don't like what you're involved in, or what you can't get involved in, whatever the situation, if you have an opportunity, start working towards building that, because at the very least you're going to get a better idea of what it's like. Because a lot of times you might think somebody is personally trying to hold you down, but you're a fucking drop in a bucket of water. They might not even know you exist.
Totally.
Sometimes people might look at me like I'm not posting some shit that I should, and I'm just like, post what though? Did you tag me? Did you send me some shit and I didn't do it? Like, what was the situation? I just forgot. You sent it to me a month ago, and now today's the day, but it's Friday and I'm out with my family. Like, I'm not sorry, but you know, I wish I'd have did it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm not sorry, because it's my job to post some shit, but at the same time, like, what are you doing? You make a flyer and you expect everybody else to do all the work for you? Nah. So my whole point, to go back to the bottom, even though I strayed a little bit, is like, are you working? Because if you're not working to fix the problem you complaining about, then bitch, you shouldn't be complaining. You're not valid to speak on some shit you ain't actually trying to fix.
Totally.
Period.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Or just keep complaining. You're going to be complaining 10 years from now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So complain all you want. Just try to do some shit.
Yeah.
Man.
So build.
That's that. You gotta build.
Whether
man.
it's show up to the events, whether it's
social currency,
whether it's ours, or whether it's any of the numerous residencies.
Shit got nothing to do with us.
Show up
in general.
Consistently.
Try.
Build with the people.
Build.
Don't build with them to get something. You'll get something after you build.
Keep it real.
Right?
Too many fake people. Transactional relationships definitely exist, and there's not necessarily something wrong with that. Especially the more busy you get. Like, yo, you need me to stop what I'm doing to help you. I would love to help you, but what you're asking for requires time that I don't have right now. So I have to charge you, or can you do, because I know you do this, right? Well, we could use this. If you do this, then I could do this for you. It's not just like I'm using you for some shit, or vice versa, right? Totally fine if you want to hit me up out of the blue, never once called me, and need something from me. But if you complain when I say no, motherfucker, man, it's going to be bad for you. But, you know what I mean? The whole point is like, going back, just to reiterate, all that shit talk, that's all real shit. But ultimately, man, fuck a gatekeeper. Like, just do that shit yourself. Like, you gotta try, because while you're trying, you're working anyways. Maybe these people see what you're doing and pick you up, or whatever you weren't getting can happen. You know what I'm saying? You just gotta work. You can't just complain and sit and wait for shit to get fixed. That rarely happens, and when it does, it's temporary. You know what I mean? It's temporary, so you gotta step. You gotta keep it moving.
That's funny. That's a little insight into our relationship. So I was on Facebook, I guess you call it bitching, but I was like, is anyone reading my work? Should I keep doing this? And Kahlee hit me up, I think the only person who responded, and said, well, just try doing consistent interviews. And so I started these West Coast Wednesday interviews, and then got to do West Coast Wednesday interviews where I'd interview the headliners for Hip Hop House, and that's where we are here. So I have been, just so people know too, like, I don't make any money off of hip hop. Little bits here and there, but I don't make consistent money off of hip hop. And I've been writing since 2010. So I went to shows for free, or I paid to go in the door, if there's free shows, or I paid to go in, I watched the show and I wrote about them. First show I did that, I wrote about this guy. You can go read that still. And we're gonna have a whole bunch of stuff, including those archives, at sdstateofmind.com soon, I promise. This is a little funny side commercial. Everything he's saying is how we connected. right? He was paying his dues after being in a group, after paying dues for 10 years, he was still paying his dues at Lyrical Schoolyard, and I was just getting my chops, paying my dues as a writer, and we're still here paying our dues and growing and in love with the culture and joyful.
The dues change.
So,
It's rich. There's millionaires out there paying dues. There are millionaires out there paying dues.
Yes.
There are 100 millionaires out there. Jay-Z probably still paying dues, but just in a different way. And also you get to a point where, well, I don't have to do this, but at the same time, if you want this, you're gonna have to work one way or another to get it. And sometimes you gotta do some shit that you feel like you're above. Well, okay, you don't have to do it, but then don't get mad when you don't get the shit. You think there's not a bunch of like terrible rappers out there that I see successful as fuck? I'll be like, I'm better than these cats. I still feel that way. However, I don't think me being a better rapper than them means I deserve their success more than they do. Because I don't know all that shit. I don't know how they got there. I don't know the things they did. And also, it's like, I ain't got a bunch of people beating down my door trying to buy all my products. So that's something. You know what I'm saying? Do you? Because if not, maybe don't get so much. But anyways, going back to that whole thing, just work, man. Just work, because consistency is what's going to get it. You got to be good, though, to an extent. And if you're not the best rapper, figure out how to, like, just get in touch with these people's souls. That's what you got to do. You know what I mean? That's what you got to do.
Dope. Good. I brought
that was part
look at the
one
energy.
Of the two
look at the
segments.
energy.
That was part one of the two-part question.
Yeah, right. That was part one. Part two, for our hip hop fans who tune in and really just want to know more about the artists we cover, and but they're saying, man, one thing I hear a lot from fans is, I used to love hip hop, right? I used to be, and I'm always putting them up on there to say, well, I used to like so and so, and I'm like, oh, then here's an album from last year, boom, But what do you say to the fans who are used to be fans of hip hop, the fans who are looking for events to go to, the fans who really want to like be in tune with San Diego's hip hop scene? Where do they go?
There's something for everybody, first of all. You know what I mean? Like, I know a lot of, especially like the older folks that I talk to, like you into hip hop, they're like, I used to listen to hip hop, or I listen to old school shit. Like, these are not people who are out there actively trying to find hip hop music. So you got to identify that about yourself. Now, if you don't care about music and you're just down to take whatever comes your way, that's totally understandable. I wouldn't try to like have much of an opinion about hip hop if that's the case, or whatever else. Like, if I don't really eat this food, then like my answer, if you ask me if I like it, I'd be like, I don't really like it. I tried it once, it wasn't bad or it wasn't good. I don't really have an opinion, right? So if you're not actively trying to find a certain type of music, then there's only so much you can say about it, right? A lot of people used to listen to hip hop on the radio, which was their primary source of it, and then the radio starts changing the type of hip hop music to the same shit that you and I probably don't really like, right? And then they don't like it either, so they just change the channel and they like a different type of pop music or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So there was that. But overall, it's like there's music for everybody. Just because a genre is a genre you're not used to, if you're only in it for the sound, I can understand you not fucking with it. Maybe it's not your thing. If you're in it for like lyrics, I can't see somebody in music for lyrics and not liking hip hop. That's like you're not really about it, or you're hating, or you're just not trying. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There's no other genre of music as a whole that's more lyrical than hip hop, period. That's it. I could name 10 hip hop artists, and just them 10 alone create more depth and from
content,
lyrics and content than every other fucking genre put together.
Totally.
Maybe country is the next thing, which is the next thing that people usually hate. Like, I listen to everything except country and rap.
Yeah.
Cool. So you don't listen to the words. Gotcha.
Okay.
But man, there's something for everybody. It's just sometimes you can't find it. But if I'm like, I used to listen to this guy, and I used to listen to DJ Quick and fucking Dr. Dre, but blah blah blah. Like, oh, so you mean like into some kind of G-funk, some West Coast, like some street shit? Okay. Well, you want somebody new that does that? Like YG is perfect, or something like that.
Yeah.
Or I'm into really lyrical shit, but I like it to sound like this. Like, there's a way to find that, right? If you care to.
Yeah.
But the whole point is, like, if you're not really in it to like be a huge hip hop head, then man, just listen to whatever you feel. You know what I'm saying?
How could I then find that kind of information from you? Like how, or from your platforms, or where do I go if I'm in San Diego?
Oh, you was asking about San Diego
yeah,
hip-hop.
in particular. How do I find...
He's leading me because he knows the answer that he's looking for me to ask. Because I'm like, hold up, I want to talk about this.
Yeah, no, that's great. I love it.
We got playlists. So at the very least, sdstateofmind.com and hiphopweds.com, you're going to hear you're going to be able to see all the past features and check out everybody's music. We have monthly playlists, especially, we have a San Diego playlist alone that has all the SD shit. But the SD State, I want to put the shine the spotlight on the SD State of Mind album, which is all San Diego artists.
Yeah.
And again, like, maybe you hear an album and literally like every single song on the whole album. That could be great. Usually those people, in my experience, can't be everybody. But a lot of times those people are not heavy, like, fans into... I don't know if that's the right way to say it, but it's okay if you don't like every song on somebody's album.
Yeah.
That's my opinion.
Totally.
Now, if I like 50% of the songs and 50% I don't, especially if they're changing a lot of music styles. Hold on, let me rewind. Patrice O'Neal, he's a comedian, one of the best ever. He passed away. He said some shit along the lines of like, he was basically saying, I don't want everybody at my show to love my shit. I want half the people to be like, fuck yeah, that shit's hilarious. And the other half to be like, ugh, like offended and shit. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that that's the best thing, but the idea of an album, the SD State of Mind album, the shit's called Daygo Renaissance, by the way. You know what I mean? Having all 16 different songs and every song different from the other. Yeah. It's totally fine if you like 7 songs on the album and 2 songs you think are okay and 5 songs is whatever and 2 more songs is you hate whatever. Like, that's totally fine. You might like every song on the whole album. You might only like a few. But what you're gonna do is you're gonna get those songs that you like and you're gonna search more into that artist or those artists. You're gonna find more music that you like from them. Then they're gonna do songs with other people and then you hear that and you're like, ooh, I like that too. And this album is all San Diego artists, so obviously that's what you're gonna hear. You know what I'm saying? So that's the thing. You gotta hear. If you're on Bandcamp, SD State of Mind is the TV. SDStateofMind.bandcamp. Just go to SDStateofMind.com. Check out our Spotify playlist. There's gonna be a lot of San Diego shit on there. Check out
the Bars Weekly playlist as well, right?
Bars Weekly's on there as well, yeah. But Bars Weekly is gonna have some San Diego shit. It's gonna have a lot of different shit from all over. But the whole thing, like anything else, man. If you go to like a website that mainly gives you shit that you like, then that's the website to go to because they're catering to your vibe. If you go to Bars Weekly and you like the type of shit that I play, then you're really gonna love my show because I'm really good at playing that type of shit and new shit and mixing other shit with it. So again, I'm not trying to have you like every single song on it. Like I'm not trying to trick nobody. I'm really trying to have this. The thing. You and I could listen to an album and my favorite song could be the song you hate and vice versa. Like, that's the whole thing. If you could catch a bunch of people with the album or with the playlist or whatever, that's success to me. You know what I mean? And we got that. So SDStateofMind.com, the easiest way to find San Diego music. Just to part 2 of the 2-part question.
Now, last question.
That he asked me 10, 15 minutes
So
ago.
last question. Thank you for saying. Last question, Kahlee. So SD State of Mind. Under that, we've got HipHopWEDS, Bars Weekly, and of course more. What is your vision for the next year? So end of 2021, early 2022. What can people expect? They saw this video. They were pulled in by something you said. They laughed. And now they're like, I'm intrigued. Like, what's coming? What should I be ready for? What can I expect?
When is this dropping?
My boy.
Maybe when.
Okay, so we don't know. Okay.
Whenever.
So basically, there's so much coming, right?
Yeah.
And things are barely opening up. When we're filming this, it's not even June 15th yet. June 15th in California, if you're from out and you don't know whatever, everything's supposed to open up June 15th. Assuming things continue to go well and we never have to regress to wearing masks and shit like that, and we get to be full capacity at venues and things like that. This is what I see for first of all, HipHopWEDS, the shows are done.
Okay.
No more HipHopWEDS shows. What's happening is HipHopWEDS is now a hip hop blog. San Diego based, San Diego focused hip hop blog. but the idea, the vibe of what HipHopWEDS is and was is still there under the SD State of Mind banner. You know, hip hop house, donuts, waves, like these things still exist under the SD State of Mind banner. So our shows are going to continue. They'll just be under the SD State of Mind name instead of HipHopWEDS. You'll still see the HipHopWEDS logo on the bottom because that's a San Diego blog. You know what I'm saying? But you know, maybe we'll hit y'all off with one more HipHopWEDS event before we leave. Who knows?
Yeah,
You know
I saw
what
a
I'm
post. I did see a post today.
So I mean, obviously, if you don't fucking know by now, I don't put a post out like that for no fucking reason. If you were like, I wonder if they're... Yeah, motherfucker, we obviously gonna throw one more.
Yep.
Anyway, so we got a lot of shit happening just in the next, through the summer. Like, to me, this gonna be an amazing summer. I'm glad that I'm married because I feel like there's gonna be a lot of babies made.
Oh, I'm sure.
This summer. You know what I'm saying? Lots of hoeing is gonna be going on. Lots of hoeing gonna be going on. You know what I'm saying? Men and women. So y'all strap up. You know what I mean? But it's gonna be a lot of cool shit happening over this. So much music has been created. If you didn't know, like, San Diego hip hop has been consistent through COVID. You know what I mean? Like, lots of releases. I've been dropping shit, like multiple releases every month, and I got so much more to the end of the year. I know a lot of things that I don't know if I should speak on it, so I won't, but man, so much good. Just San Diego hip hop, but hip hop across the world is really popping right now. But we also have this documentary. We were gonna do the documentary first, but COVID was kind of restricting us too much to where it would have been harder to do interviews, so we decided to do the album first. This album is like a precursor to the HipHopWEDS documentary that's gonna come out, and you know, we hope to drop that at the end of this year. We're supposed to do the documentary. We ended up doing the soundtrack first, which is like the SD State of Mind album. So this is Volume 1, SD State of Mind, Volume 1, the Daygo Renaissance. You know what I mean? And then Great Summer, coming back in the fall with some new shows. HipHopWEDS really had a way of doing things, weekly events, free events. We're still going to have free events. We're still going to have multiple events a month. But what we're doing is we're upgrading the events that we're going to be having. Bigger place, you know what I mean? Nicer venue, less trouble with the crybaby owner, you know, shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Unprofessional, narcissistic people. We're trying to cut them out fully if possible. But basically, man, basically, because I like to say it apparently a million times, where I'm trying to go with this, where I'm trying to have us go with this, is just upgrade things and really show everybody that we could just get right back into life without having to miss a step. You know what I mean? As if we were here the whole time. Like, oh damn, like they throwing big shows now. We having good shows. We're having good events where the vibe is just great. That's what we're doing. But now we're doing it on a larger scale. We're definitely gonna be charging sometimes. Don't be coming around complaining the one show out of like 50 shows when we charge. God damn it, I don't want to hear that shit. You know what I mean? I know that's what you about, because that's the only time you get some, you know, attention and shit. But you don't want the attention I'm gonna be giving you. I'm telling you, I turned into a different person over this last year, and I definitely let a lot go. But some things I'm gonna give it to you in a way that it's not gonna feel too good when I shove it in there. All right, just chill out with that. But no, we got some really cool things happening, and I'm really excited about it. Shows coming back in the fall. I guess I shouldn't say too much more than that. But I see SD State of Mind being huge. Shows, new shows, Serial Killers coming. I mean, the pilot episode of Serial Killers was pretty cool. I don't know if you've seen it. You don't want to get me started on that. And if you did,
you can't anymore, but...
You can't anymore. Don't fucking lie, man. I don't want to hear that shit. Yo, you got a problem, you can holler at me.
Oh my gosh.
But anyways, he's a nice guy, but... I don't want to hear that crybaby bullshit. But anyways, new Serial Killers is going to be great. Really excited about that. We got so many ideas of podcasts that he and I going to be doing. We got other things. We got affiliates that are doing great things. Man, the team is strong. And the
SD State of Mind Radio as well. KKSM, PalomarCollegeRadio.com. Monthly, first Wednesday of every month. You know, it had to be under the HipHopWEDS banner, of course. And so that Wednesdays, I'll be playing mostly local, but just good hip hop on the radio, like crazy. So that's one way to tune in. Man, Kahlee, thank you.
So much going on.
It's just so much.
Let me emphasize, man, the great vibe and working. I was talking to the homie, talking to so many different people about it. One more thing, my bad.
No, get it.
There's so much going on that we can't afford to be wasting time and energy with people that we don't wholeheartedly love or want to be around or work with, especially when we're doing shit that we're trying to escape our 9-to-5 jobs to do. I'm not working to get away from my 9 to 5 to work with more people that I don't want to work with on this level. You know what I'm saying? So working with cats like Nate, working with cats like so many others. I'm not gonna go down the list. But if you focus on working with the people that you love working with, or the people that you really want to stand behind and that you know will stand behind you, then you don't have time to not work with people you don't like. You know what I'm saying?
Totally.
You're not working with people you don't want to work with, but your focus is on working with people you do want to work with. It's kind of the same, but it's not. It's glass half full. You feel me? Put that energy into the things that feed your soul and feed your family. You know what I'm saying? And that's really what it's about. From now on, we're gonna stray and we're gonna help each other get back on, but that's what it's about from now on. You know what I mean? So if you trying to like take food out my mouth, my family's mouth, or out of my soul, I'm not gonna be happy about that. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So,
well, that's for everybody out there, right? Like, COVID hopefully gave you a pause button. You pushed it, you took the break, and hats off to everybody who had to hustle and was not okay during it. You know, like, that's a real thing. But for all of us who were okay, we're still here. We're able to still kind of thrive in the whole thing. I hope that you come back with that energy of just like, man, just build. Even talking to what Kahlee, and I know it's not my interview, but even talking to what Kahlee was talking about as far as like artists, if you're gonna complain, but also provide a solution. Like, right now is the time to build. If you didn't pivot, if you didn't put in more work, if you didn't, you know, then there's not going to be so much good in your future if that's how you're approaching it. I just took a writing class with Brother Ali, and you know, he reiterated and reminded us, you know, his students in this class, that he put in, you know, 6 days a week for like 7 years doing live shows in the Minneapolis area, and then obviously beyond that once he grew to more prominence. But like, if you're not putting in 6 days a week for at least 3 years, then don't expect much to happen. And that's every part of life. That's me talking to myself as a writer. That's me as an artist. That's me as a podcaster. If you're not putting in the work, you're not going to see the results. So like, let's all get to tending these gardens together. Much love. Thank you so much, Kahlee.
He said he's not trying to let me. He told me he wanted this to be shorter, so I'm stopping myself from lengthening it more.
Okay.
Or am I?
No, peace, love, hip-hop.
That was over their head, it's like the shape of a Gumby. Listen, stomach growling, I'm insatiably hungry. These niggas food, and I got a sudden case of the munchies. Trumpet is rap shit, I'm shaking the country. If I spit, then it's probably in your face with a lungy dope. I'm backstroking through the vein of a junkie. These little niggas on pills fucking making me jumpy. Your favorite rapper